If I'm too quick, then just put up your hand and slow me down or ask questions anytime you want. Okay? So let's get going. So basically, I'll start off with the key concepts of options first to build the groundwork so that we make sure that everybody is on the same level. And then we'll do the three objectives basically for purpose of options. Hedging first, and then portfolio building, and then we talk about spreads, maximizing returns and minimizing risk, and then in between we'll talk about some traps, some risk management, and if some of the strategies don't go right, what we can do. So anytime, feel free to stop me, or if you want any example, we can do that as well. Okay, so key concepts of options. Now, options have no value on their own. That's why they get the name of derivatives. They derive their value. They derive their value from the price of the underlying asset. So options can be actually not just on equities. It can be on commodities. It can be on currencies. It can be anything, the underlying asset. But what I deal in is equity options. So the underlying that I deal with are mostly shares, Australian shares. Now we've got the underlying asset in our case is share price. Most of us deal in equity options. The underlying is the intrinsic value of the underlying share price provides the intrinsic value to the options, which is basically the largest value of options. You'll find that there are 5 components that make up the value of options. The largest is intrinsic. The second is time value. Okay. Now the 3 others are not as big part of intrinsic and time value, but they do have an impact on price of options as well. Now let's look at price of option, which is also called premium. Okay, the 2 main parts of option prices are intrinsic value as well as the time value. So intrinsic value again is the excuse me, the underlying value of the share price. Now to note, what we should note with time value is that time is equivalent to the length of the contract. So a lot of the option contracts, American or Australian, is either monthly or quarterly, and I think there's weekly as well in the American market now. So that's the expiry term. So for weekly options, if you're dealing in American options, which means that you get that drop off very, very quickly. So this is a 1-year option. You find that the drop off is probably around the 11th month. But if you're doing a weekly option, you find that the drop off there, as in the erosion of the time value, will be very quick towards probably Thursday, Friday. Okay, so time value eats in and is not linear. Okay, it's exponential, especially towards the end of the life of the contract. So that's a key point to remember. Okay, time value erodes quicker as the life of the option comes to the end. Now, 3 other components are volatility, dividend, and interest rates. Dividend and interest rates are not big components. Dividends normally are adjusted out of the option price. So it does not affect it that much, but volatility is quite key. Volatility, there are 2 kinds. Firstly is the historical volatility and implied volatility. Okay? Now, volatility meaning this kind of thing, okay? The stock that moves either up or down in big ranges. It does not matter the direction, it's just that it's moving in big ranges. Now, volatility depends on which side of options you are, whether you're a buyer or a seller. It creates a higher value for options, okay? So you need to be careful. If you're a buyer of options, after you've bought it and the underlying asset moves like crazy, is fine for you because then it will increase your price of options for you, even though if the underlying share price does not change much, but the volatility, the range that it does, increases the price of option.